not to get too highfalutin Shakespeare here, but I kind of saw like the first one, he's kind of like Prince Hal becoming Henry V in a way. This one, literally Caesar, he's getting betrayed. So is the third one, is it going to be his Lear? Is he going to be like, but think about it, like, he's built this kingdom, who do you leave it to?
I think I love the analogy, and I think it's absolutely right, and that's exactly the sort of mythic structure that Matt Reeves and Rupert Wyatt and the writers have applied to all of these so far. So I think that's probably not wrong, although I think King Lear is a perfect way to go.
Yeah, so we're going to see him crazy out in the rain? I would hope so, you know? It goes Abe. So, you know,
It's a great idea.
Apes! Do not want war! Do not come back.
For me, Caesar's character is a brilliant conception. You know, he's sort of neither ape or human. He's sort of connected to both worlds. You know, Andy always tells it that he felt that he was being sort of raised in a way where he felt he was human, and then one day realized he wasn't, and that made him an outsider to humans. And then when he was sort of thrown in with the apes, he wasn't quite them either. And so he's a unique character in that he's both part of and apart from both of these civilizations. And the idea that he somehow is this bridge, that we can explore this story, is really, really cool. And for me, the third movie is really about taking that character into new places. And you know, he's someone who, because he's in a way considers himself part human, part ape, he wouldn't want there to be a war, but there's a war coming. And there's a war that he's in the middle of, and how is he going to reconcile all that with everything that he's believed in? It's going to be his greatest challenge yet. For me, I think it's a way for him to achieve a kind of mythic status. He can become the seminal figure in ape history to live on.
The lawgiver?
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah, in a way.
Koba in this film is, you know, he's clearly, obviously a tragic character. What do you think, Caesar, even though it definitely ends badly and violently between them, do you think there is any bit of forgiveness there on Caesar's part?
I think there's huge regret. I think there's huge sadness. I mean, he is, in many ways, Koba was his cause célèbre. You know, if Koba can come out of the other side of what he's experienced, his worldview as a liberated, tortured ape from a lab, and come through and become, you know, you see them at the start of the movie, they're best friends, they're kind of almost brotherly, and Caesar celebrates that as a real evolution and a real turnaround, and if Koba can get to this point, then he's a good example for the rest of the community. So in many ways, to actually to go against everything that he believes in and kill his brother is a very awful and painful thing that he will have to live with for the rest of his life.
It's really important to understand that Koba came from that place where he was not given any options. He's now in a place with Caesar and the rest of the apes where he has vast options, and he just makes a bad decision through the fear. Yeah. He's terrified of humans. He's not a tough guy. He doesn't stay on that horse and stare at them like he's going to cut all their heads off because he's tough. He does it because he's terrified. And it takes everything he's got to go down there. And he's holding his spike, and he's holding his horse's reins. He's got all the armor he could muster at that point. So, yeah, it was interesting to play someone so fearful. But what was really nice is working with a director like Matt, who allowed, it was very important to me to have that moment just before he executes the two humans, to get that bit of levity, that little insight into them, to play with them, to show emotional intelligence, to say, you guys have underestimated me, you're in so much trouble and you don't even know, and we're just having a drink, right? Drink's fun. Yeah, drinks and guns, they're all fun. And I think that was so beautiful, to play a character who's so distressed and depraved and broken that can still make you smile, because that's the real deal.
Do you think his feelings towards humans, I should say Caesar's feelings towards humans, by the time we get to the end of this film, do you think he understands them possibly maybe less than he thought he did? Even at the end of the first movie, he had spent his whole life with them, and now he's really seeing them at their most kind of vulnerable and dangerous, you know?
I mean, I think Caesar is this incredibly empathetic character who wants to find a peaceful solution and who has witnessed both the good and the bad in humanity, and now the good and the bad in his own species. So I think I don't think he has any absolute opinions about humans anymore. I think they are as confused and. You know, when he has that scene with Bright Eyes where he says, "I used to think that apes were better than humans, but now I see how much like them we are." I think that's the understanding, really. I think that's what he takes with him, and realizes that the road ahead is going to be perhaps even more complex than he could have imagined.